Welcome back. We are nearly a month into the new year, and you may find your grand resolutions are already in need of a reboot. Well, there's an app for that, especially if your pledge is to grow your faith. It's called Faithful. It pulls together daily lessons from some of today's most popular pastors and faith leaders, including Judah Smith. The pastor and chaplain of the Seattle Seahawks takes a seat inside Studio 5 to show us the app and to share a timely message called Jesus on Trauma.
Deeply distressing or disturbing experiences. Yeah, that's 2020. That's pretty accurate. In fact, even into 2021, we see disturbing developments in the news in Washington, D.C. or other places, and we ask ourselves, when is the trauma gonna stop?
That's just a tiny sample of a Judah Smith sermon, and he joins us right now to talk more about the Faithful app. Before we get to the app, real quick, I know you've launched a series at your church on Jesus on trauma, and in light of what we went through just last week, not even to mention 2020, it seems timely. Why focus on Jesus on trauma right now?
Well, trauma seems to be from the professional world. Those who study brain health and mental health are telling us that that is kind of the word for 2020. Trauma, of course, meaning a deeply distressing or disturbing experience. And they're saying collectively, we have all gone through that. They're saying things like compassion fatigue is setting in. Empathy fatigue. It's very difficult for us now to empathize or be compassionate with one another. And so in reality, we're dealing with, yes, a pandemic, but we're also dealing with another critical crisis. And that is that we're all experiencing emotional fatigue as a result of the trauma. So we're trying to speak to that and see the faith, hope, and love that comes through the person of Jesus.
And a platform or a place for us to at least work on that process daily is the app Faithful. I've been doing it now. I've got my daily faith goal. I haven't quite climbed as much as I should for today, but I'm going to get there. Tell me about the app.
Well, you just said it right there. That's exactly why we built it, because I think all of us feel a little behind. We feel like we're not doing enough to grow spiritually, to grow mentally and emotionally. And I think the Faithful app, we put together a roster of over 50 of the most considerable preachers, teachers, and thinkers in the faith space. And this is an opportunity in a matter of 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes a day, you can experience incredible progress. For instance, you can see a verse of the day, and there's one of those incredible teachers and preachers who for 2 minutes will explain one verse to you. And that alone could help you throughout your day. And so I think all of us feel a little bit overwhelmed, like I'm not doing enough, I'm not growing, my faith isn't progressing, I'm in quarantine and COVID is so overwhelming. And this is the application that we're saying, hey, listen, tell us what you're going through. We're going to give you curated content served up every single day from some of your favorite communicators to help you take at least one step of progress on the given day you're in.
How would you compare this to other spiritual apps, if you will, that are out there? How do you think this is different?
Well, for instance, 50% of millennials today are watching their faith-based content from YouTube and a few other platforms. And the challenge for that is those platforms are not specifically designed like ours is to curate for you the content that actually is tailor-made. For instance, on YouTube, you can be watching one of your favorite preachers, and then YouTube will suggest potentially another communicator that has a completely different world, religion, worldview, or even theology. What we have done in our simple onboarding process is you'll be able to get the content from the communicators who is consistent with your belief system that I think will really, really encourage you in your journey. And there's a very diverse roster of leaders that we're really proud of.
If you could right now, before we let you go, give us a word for the day in terms of if I'm tuning into this, if this were my app, what would you say in light of what we're going through right now?
Well, I would say that you're doing better than you think you are. And I think we all just got to give ourselves a little bit more credit. And I know people don't like to do that, but that's where this whole thing begins, that you are of value and worth and dignity. That's why you're sucking oxygen on planet Earth. There is a creator. He designed you for a purpose. He is so proud of you and he loves you and he's not mad at you. And you're not behind like you think you are. You're not You're not the person that you think you are. You're doing great. And we're all going through extraordinary amounts of trauma that are frankly beyond our understanding. And today is a brand new opportunity to take one little step. Don't get caught up with the destination. Life's not about the destination. It really is about the journey. And today is an opportunity to take another step.
We take that. Thank you so much, Judah Smith. The app is the Faithful app, and we certainly appreciate your time. God bless you.
Thank you. You too.
For more uplifting and inspiring stories, be sure to check out an all-new edition of Studio 5 every Wednesday. Tonight, we're checking in with Phillip Rivers, who's beginning again after retiring from the NFL. We're also recognizing Holocaust Remembrance Week with a film about a rarely shared piece of World War II history. And we're sitting down with actors Mark Wahlberg and Rose Byrne, who have a film based on a real-life family. It all begins this evening at 8:30. You can find that on the CBN News Channel. We'll be right back.